The past year and a half has looked like this at the Niagara Falls-Buffalo border. Pretty quiet. But the latest news could bring some life back to the Ontario city.
We call it one big city divided by a border. And we've got family on both sides, friends on both sides of the border. And just imagine if the city you live in, half of it was cut off to you for 2 years and told you can't go there any longer. It's very disruptive, and people have missed funerals and weddings and births and all sorts of important life events.
Late last night, the U.S. Centers for Disease Control confirmed Canadians with mixed doses of COVID-19 vaccines can drive into the country as of November 8th. That means about 4 million Canadians with mixed shots of Moderna, Pfizer, AstraZeneca, and its Indian-made counterpart Covishield have more travel options. But it's not a free-for-all. Canadians will need a negative COVID test within 72 hours of coming back home. Niagara Falls mayor worries that extra step will keep Canadians from taking day trips, as it has Americans.
A lot of them are frustrated. They said, if we're fully vaccinated, do you need a test as well? And that's just too expensive. So that's been the frustration. The Americans haven't come back as we expected them to. And this is the feedback we're getting. It's the testing protocol. It's both cumbersome and costly.
While frustrating for some travelers, this virologist says it's a necessary step, considering high test positivity rates in some states and provinces and the fourth wave dragging on in Canada.
Yes, we know you are going to be protected, but what does that mean for the rest of the population? Because we do have to continue to think about vaccination from a population standpoint, not just an individual standpoint.
No matter how short the trip, Canadians are still on the hook for a pricey COVID test, bringing in anywhere between 150 and 300 American. And they could take about 24 hours before the results come back. As a workaround, the federal government says you can take your re-entry test before you drive to the States as long as your trip is less than 72 hours. Still, public health officials warn that those tests show results at the time they are taken, meaning you can still catch COVID while you're traveling and bring it back home. Sam Sampson, CBC News, Winnipeg.